the final game, the caboose on the choo-choo train for Wild Card Weekend as Dak Prescott's Dallas Cowboys, traveling circus, hitting the road for a play date with Tom Brady's Buccaneers. Now, you got to know, going into this game, we were told nobody wants to play the Buccaneers. Oh, my God, Tom Brady's so good. Oh, my. Yeah, we heard all that nonsense. All that, facts be damned. It's all about feelings, right? Oh, the Buccaneers are so loaded, blah, 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 blah. All right, so maybe you didn't see the game. Well, we watched it, so you would not have to. And El Stinko would be a way to describe this game in terms of competitiveness. Dak Prescott playing like it was a regular season game against the New York Giants 4 years ago. Dak Prescott had 4 touchdown passes. He ran for another, and the Cowboys vaporized the Buccaneers, sinking their pirate ship 31-14 in a game that was not even that close. And so it's upward and onward now for Dallas as they go on to the divisional round of the playoffs. And Dak Prescott, over 300 yards passing, did not turn the ball over for the first time in 8 games. In 8 games! The man did not have a turnover for the first time in 8 games. Dallas beating Tom Brady for the first time in the career head-to-head matchup there. And they also went on the road for the first time in 30 years. And they get a date with San Francisco in Santa Clara. They play the 49ers in the NFC divisional round. That'll be coming up on Sunday. The Cowboys had dropped 8 straight playoff games away from home. Their last win way back in 1993, and that led to the "How about them Cowboys" rant by Jerry Jones. So let us discuss the question. Better story in the losing locker room. We'll get to the Cowboys in a minute, but we focus in on the losers because that's where the drama is. That's where the finger-pointing is. So the question is, what are the odds that Tom Brady has played his last game in the NFL? Forget whether or not it's his last game for the Buccaneers. That seems like a fait accompli. But Tom Brady's last game in the NFL. So we are setting the odds extremely low on Brady never playing again. We're going to set the odds on that at plus 1,700, which implies a 5% chance. A 5% chance that that's it for Tom Brady. So I've got wagon, gravitational field, and biblical. And we will tie all of these things together, and we're going to make a nice vacation, which is what the Buccaneers will be doing right now. They'll be going on vacation. So, Tom Brady, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but most of the year he needed a life preserver. He was wobbly in Tampa from pretty much the beginning to the end of the year, and there were only a couple of bright spots. That's it. This game was on brand. The Buccaneer offense backfired regularly. A lot of potholes, a lot of rocks on the roadway there. The struggle, it turns out, is real. Now, nevertheless, Tom Brady has nothing to keep him from continuing his NFL career. So while I think that Brady's days in Tampa are done, the fat lady warming up for the Buccaneers, the reality is that Tom Brady will continue to play, and there's no reason for him to not to play, even though he stinks right now. He already tried retirement. We know what happened. It lasted 40 days and 40 nights back in his Patriot days when he had his weekly radio show before he transitioned over to his buddy Jim Gray to shoot the crap with Gray every week. But back when he did a radio appearance every week, Brady had said that he would retire when he sucks. He essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but the game would explain to him when it's time to retire. Well, the doorbell is ringing, and it's Suck that's saying hello there. But regardless of that, I get no sense that Tom Brady is going to retire. Now, maybe you do, but I don't. And I know he's got the standing offer, wink, wink, nod, nod from Fox to do television. Boy, is he going to likely be terrible at that. But there's nothing else that Tom Brady has. There's no real hobbies. Like, Brady can sell more TB12 magic potions by playing. He tried crypto. He's lost a reported $45 million and is facing a gaggle of lawsuits up the badonkadonk from his love affair with FTX. That didn't go so well. He lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps football. It's the thing that keeps him moving there. And so that said, Brady in Tampa, he pretty much said his goodbyes to the Buccaneers. You can read between the lines there, listen between the words, and all indications are Brady was closing the door on Tampa. Things have started to rot there. It makes sense. The roster's not able to cover the shortcomings of a 45-year-old quarterback. Tom Brady is going to be a free agent. He got the contract set up in a way to allow him to not be tied down to the Buccaneers. And Brady's going to have plenty of suitors here. And not that he's particularly great right now, but he's really good at box office, right? He's got the stardust. He matters. Dopey radio shows like this and TV talking heads and the blogosphere love Tom Brady. And so he will have multiple teams that will roll out the welcome wagon. Not that the Bucs are a wagon or Brady's a wagon at this point, but the welcome wagon will be rolled out, showering Tom with love and gifts. And remember, back when he left the Patriots to go to the Buccaneers, there was not that romance because of COVID protocols. So Tom did not get wined and dined around the NFL world. And so you look around the obvious destinations for Tom Brady. I would be genuinely surprised if Brady does not end up with the Raiders or the Tennessee Titans. You look for nepotism. You look for a connection. You look for a bond there, and those are the two obvious ones. You don't have to be some highfalutin NFL insider to know, follow the trail of breadcrumbs, and they lead to ex-Patriot offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels and former Patriot teammate Mike Vrabel. Those are the two obvious ones, and Tennessee's got that dead weight Ryan Tannehill. He blows. The Raiders have already cleared everything away because they got rid of Derek Carr, so you land right there. Now, Vegas would be the safer choice because you've got Devontae Adams and the very real likelihood that Josh Jacobs is going to be back. So you've got a top-notch wide receiver and a top-notch running back. You've got the friendly face coaching. The only disadvantage, and it's a big one, it is an important note to make here, is that in your backyard, if you go to the Raiders, you are in the same neighborhood as Patrick Mahomes, but you're not in as nice a house as Patrick Mahomes. And the Chargers have talent. They're certainly talented enough to get right back in the playoff mix. And the Broncos, if they find the right secret recipe, can unlock the seemingly diminishing skill set of Russell Wilson. There's a lot there, where if you go to the Titans, you'd be better off in terms of a soft landing spot. The AFC South blows, right? They lack the elite talent. Indianapolis is going the wrong direction. Houston stinks. Jacksonville, they were very fortunate to overcome the turnover palooza. Much more on that later against the Chargers. But you're not going to sit here and tell me Jacksonville's on the cusp of becoming a dynasty. We don't believe in that. And so the disadvantage for the Titans is they lack anybody at the wide receiver position who's worth their salt. And so Brady wants that. He's not going to get that unless they sign or trade for somebody else. And then you've got Derrick Henry, and that's it. You've got Derrick Henry, and you need divine intervention. Return to the Patriots, unlikely, but not completely off the table. The Patriots did not fully endorse, Bill Belichick did not endorse Mac Jones. And you could bring Brady back and walk him back if he wants to go back there for another year at age 46, toss him out there. Some of these other teams seem completely out of left field. The Jets, the Falcons, the Commanders, the Colts, the Texans, those type of teams just seem like they make no sense. Now, part two of this, who are Tom Brady sycophants now blaming for this playoff loss to the Cowboys? So I am fascinated by this. I admit it is my guilty pleasure to look at the rats on Tom Brady's sinking ship running around and getting so defensive and so upset. So to answer the question, who are Tom Brady's sycophants blaming for this latest stinker, it is a scattershot approach. Todd Bowles is a popular pick by popular people. It's a poorly coached team. It's not Brady's fault. It's coach's fault. Bowles' defense did not contain Dak Prescott. Byron Leftwich, who was the darling last year, now has become the loser, right? He's getting haymakers. It's the play calling. It's blankety blank blank play calling. No balance on offense. Of course, Tom Brady would rather throw every single play than run the ball. And Brady has a heavy hand in the play calling, but never let the facts get in the way of a good argument, right? You've got to blame somebody else. You blame Leftwich on the play calling. But it's pretty much anything and everything that can be used to deflect away from TB12. That Tom Brady has this gravitational field protecting him. It's fascinating to me. Like, you can be the all-time greatest quarterback and still in the moment suck, but for so many people, the low-information fans, they don't understand that. They can't wrap their head around that. Don't you dare! Don't you dare mess with Tom Brady. There's a vector field protecting Brady, right? And no culpability. And what I've noticed, and I was dabbling, I admit it, I said my guilty pleasure, I was dabbling in this, poking the Tom Brady apologist. And here's what I got. I got the Mike Martz level rant. Yabbit, 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 yabbit. Yabbit, 10 Super Bowl appearances. Yabbit, 7 Super Bowl rings. Yabbit, 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 yabbit. He's the GOAT. Yabbit, 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 yabbit. That was what I got. Machine gun style yabbit. Yabbit, 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 yabbit. Yabbit, he poops cotton candy and he spits out Hawaiian punch. Now, personally, I never bought in to the hype, as we said, about this Buccaneer team. And I guess now's the perfect time as the funeral procession leads you down the street there for the Buccaneers, the nobody wants to play them mantra that so many people got worked up into in the NFL media. The arithmetic never worked. And I don't understand why, other than just to try to get people to watch and you work for the NFL, you're in the tank. But outside of that, logically, it never made any sense. From week 3 to the end of the season, Tampa was an absolute lightweight. They were stuck in quicksand. This is a Buccaneer team and Tom Brady, a quarterback who got outplayed in games against P.J. Walker, Jacoby Brissett, the combo dish of Mitch Trubisky and Cody Pickett, and Brock Purdy, among others. And that's the team that's supposed to go into the playoffs and all of a sudden flip the switch? Come on. Made no sense. All right, last word here. So is this, let's go to the other side. Let's go to the other side of the room, and that would be the Cowboys. Is this a breakthrough victory for Dak Prescott's Dallas Cowboys? Woohoo! How about them Cowboys? So I am shaking my head no. You cannot see me, but I'm shaking my head no. And I'll tell you why, right? The Cowboys, I know all the numbers. They picked up their first road playoff game since the early 90s. 30 years of time. They first win against Brady. They were 0-7. Nevertheless, all right, let's not make this out to be some kind of biblical David versus Goliath upset, because that is a bunch of bullpucky is what that is. The Cowboys were the Goliath in this game. And yet, the way this thing was twisted around and manipulated like Play-Doh, you would have thought it was the opposite. Dallas was favored in this game. Hello? The Cowboys were favored. The gambling market had Dallas winning this game and covering they said they should win the game by this number of points, a couple of points in favor of the Cowboys. Dallas lived up to expectations. The Cowboys were a 12-5 regular season team. Tampa Bay went 8-9 this season. Now, even if you say that last game against Atlanta was a throwaway game, even though they played their starters for a half, okay, fine. So then they're a 9-8 team. That ain't great either. But you are what your record says you are 99% of the time. Every once in a while there's an exception, and there's fraudulent teams like the Minnesota Vikings who were exposed. Where are all those Viking fans that were giving me crap last week? Where are they at right now? But Tampa put up the second fewest points in the NFC. Only the Rams, who played 4 quarterbacks this year, scored fewer points than Tom Brady's Buccaneers in the NFC. I was not impressed. And Dak Prescott, let's be clear here. Dak Prescott is supposed to play like that. He's the franchise quarterback in Dallas. You don't get a feather in the cap when you do what you're supposed to do. Dak played like he was playing against an inferior opponent, which is what he had done to get the contract, beating up on tomato cans. Now, the real test against the number 1 defense in the NFL. Dak on the road against the number 1 defense in the NFL. How is Prescott going to perform under the immense pressure, and especially in a close game? That is a much better gauge. And that's a game that's a winnable game. The 49ers are starting a greenhorn quarterback. Certainly didn't look like it in the second half against the Seattle Seahawks in their wild card game for the 49ers, but that's a better gauge than beating a team with a losing record and a 45-year-old quarterback in Tom Brady, which is what the Cowboys have done. So I'm not impressed is what I'm trying to say for the Cowboys. Show me